Hey, so this is Special Circumstances. It's a truck that I've converted into my home and I've lived in for the last 4 years, and just wanted to make a video kind of capturing the vibe and hopefully provide inspiration to other people that are thinking about living nomadically. The truck is a 2006 International 106 box truck. The box is 20 feet long. It's about 30 feet long end to end. It's about 25,000 pounds. And is an incredible chassis to do a build. Really has worked excellent in terms of being a home, just because commercial trucks are built to a much higher standard than vans or school buses or kind of other options that you hear about. These trucks are normally good for about 450,000 miles in between engine rebuilds. So you're getting a lot more longevity and also just a lot higher grade build. So the front cab is just a normal truck cab. Nothing too fancy up there. It's worth noting that this door here, see how it drops down? That's called a curb door. That's very unusual and highly desirable if you're doing a build. The reason why this truck has it is that you can kind of see it says customer service there. This actually was a truck that Penske would go and send to fix other Penske trucks on the road. That's also why this cabinet used to have a welder in it, and there was a generator gas can on the other side. And these giant exterior storage boxes are also very unusual. There's two on the other side, and they are incredibly handy. I mean, this is just an incredible amount of storage space, which is way more than what your normal commercial RV has. Here we've got a generator, some gas, jacks, so if I'm stationary for a long period of time, I'll actually drop in bottle jacks and stabilize the whole structure. That's pretty rare anymore. There we go. And let's go inside. So, super hardy door. Something that's awesome about this truck is that I feel very secure when I park at places. Unlike an RV where there's tons of windows, this thing is super, super hardy. And the windows are also very high off the ground. So this is my humble abode. Starting from the front, we have control panel. Lets me control my water pump, my water heater, air compressor, some other electrical systems. We've got our solar input here. Looks like we're getting about 2.9 amps. The sun's getting pretty low in the sky. And we've got our general battery state, which is at 88% right now. And here we have bathroom with composting toilet. And here we have wardrobe and more clothes, general stuff storage, silverware, food storage. This is a fun feature. This actually pulls out. I've got it latched because I'm about to drive right now. But this all pulls out and becomes a big additional countertop space with more drawers inside of there. And bookshelf. I really wanted a bookshelf. I've had it in all of my apartments that I lived in previously. And to me, it really speaks something about home when I can just reach up and grab something that appeals to me. And to me, it kind of represents not making sacrifices while living, as a rubbernecker, as they say, or as someone living in a vehicle. And then one of my definitely prides on this is that this is a full sit-stand desk, multi-monitor, split keyboard, Airman Miller chair, really excellent for top grade remote working. When combined with Starlink on the roof means that I can be in incredible places and still have a really top tier working environment. Over here we have refrigerator. These half-height refrigerators are excellent for vehicle builds because by using a residential refrigerator and just running it on AC, you get a much higher quality than the kind of garbage RV style 12 volt systems. Full DJ deck set up here. Mixer, which is kind of buried under junk over there, which is great because then I can really practice with a professional level DJ setup while on the road. And then moving into the bedroom here, this door is incredible. This is a new ad. Really opens up the space in here. We've got additional storage up above the bed here, additional storage in the headboard there, and disco ball for vibes, of course. Just briefly, in terms of technical details, we have the electrical system. Can you see this? It looks messy, but it is quite organized in its own way. So I have 600 volts, 600 amp hours of 12 volt lithium ion battery under the bed there, which I would say is about right for this type of build, as that I'm in the American Southwest, which is pretty sunny. There's 1700 watts of solar on the roof. I'm cooking with electric, which is essential because then you don't need to stop and do propane fill-ups like in a traditional RV. On the water side, I also am very lucky. So this is a 100-gallon water tank back there. So I have 100 gallons there, and I have another 40-gallon auxiliary tank mounted directly from the bottom of the truck in between the frame there. Most RVs that you buy oftentimes have 30 or 40 gallons, and here I am with 140. This lets me go off-grid and not have to worry about water for, as a single passenger, 4 to 5 weeks at a time. And as that I'm recharging my whole electrical system on solar, it means I am incredibly off-grid and boondock friendly. I almost never stay in an RV park. I almost always park somewhere. That's a water system. That's the electrical system. We got the music system. A couple different inputs all go into a mixer here. And then here's the main speakers. There's also subsonic transducers mounted on the bed, which is super cool, and a pretty low effort, high impact upgrade that sends the frequencies below audible range up through the bed into your body, which is between like 5 to 25 hertz or so. And yeah, I mean, you can just never have enough storage whenever you're doing the nomad life. And a lot of RVs are really meant to do a week at tops. So whenever you're living full time, I have, a lot of stuff in here, right? Like I've got t-shirts, I've got cold weather jackets, I've got long pants, short pants, all my loadouts, all hoodies, etc. Which means that I don't need to be changing out my loadout depending on what season I'm in. I can really have all my things here. And then moving around to the top here, I would say, because people always ask me this, it's a 50-gallon diesel gas tank. I get about 8.5 to 9 miles a gallon. On a really windy day, it might be 7.5. If it's a very calm day and I'm driving 57 miles an hour, I can probably get it up to about 9. But I actually don't drive that many miles in a given year. Normally, historically it's varied a good bit, but maybe around 5,000 miles a year, versus the average American car is driven 16,000 miles a year. So my style is like much more slow, set up somewhere beautiful, like here, and take my time. I'm not moving around and covering vast distances often. And it's also worth noting the electric unicycle, color coordinated with the truck, is an incredible upgrade. When I'm in cities or more urban areas, I park the truck is stationary for a long time, and then I use the electric unicycle to get around town, which I charge off my solar system on the roof, which we can head up to now. Huge industrial liftgate on the back, which functions as a back porch. And then this collapsible ladder is great. It just fits in one of the external storage compartments and gives me access to the meditation platform on the back. We've got fake grass here. And yeah, here's 1700 watts of solar on the roof. I will also say there's three externally facing powered fans. You definitely want to max those out. These things are super handy. They really move a lot of the air, and so even if it's about 90 degrees outside, it's still pretty pleasant inside of the truck. I do have an RV air conditioner. Probably should have done a split unit, but it works pretty well. If I am running the air more than just a little bit, that's when I'm going to need to use the generator. It does take a lot of power. And then skylights also would definitely recommend. Really helps there be a lot more natural light on the inside. Starlink, which is so essential that it's obvious if you're thinking about remote working from a vehicle, and Taoist flag because the universe likes balance. Yeah. And so really I would just, if you're thinking about nomadic living, like I would really encourage to check it out. It's really, really freeing. I can respond very dynamically to life. And like, I've lived here, there is no other humans for miles, for the last 3 days, and can be working from here, can clock into my normal job from here, and really feel like I've kind of found this like glitch in the system to a certain extent. Also, I'm not paying rent, right? I own my home outright, which means that I don't need to work nearly as many hours as I would if I was paying, $2,500 a month for a studio apartment in San Francisco. Yeah, I think I will leave it at that, but I certainly want to encourage people that dig this video and dig special circumstances or box trucks. Feel free to ask questions as you go about your path, because I do think that box trucks are underexplored in terms of vehicle platforms, but they are so much more heavy duty and also significantly more usable space, right? All those upper cabinets around the side makes them just a really good platform to do nomad life. Yeah, thanks for watching.